Well, well, well. Who could have possibly seen this one coming? Okay, so I have been talking about this for a while. I've been predicting this. In fact, that the next Guild Wars 2 expansion coming up in October is going to have elite specializations, and it looks like that may well end up being the case. You know, we've had two expansions with weapons without elite specs. I think it's actually pretty likely we're going to be getting elite specializations without weapons. Although, who knows, maybe they'll do weapons as well, we don't know. But I think that would kind of make sense, right? Because like doing both might be a bit too much work on the 1 year cycle, right? But doing one or the other, I can definitely see that being the case. But why am I saying this? Is it just because of this picture of, a lute of a ukulele tweeted out by ArenaNet? No, there's a bit more context to it than that. Of course, we have the announcement coming up in July, which is apparently going to be in 15 days, so very likely on July 15th. Stay tuned. But anyway, ArenaNet tweeted this out on their social media and posted it on their Blue Sky as well. Very exciting. 15 days to go. And then, of course, we have this image here. So that's why I think this is not just like, oh, they're going to add a new musical instrument like they added the piano. No, there's a couple of reasons why I think this is a fair bit more than this. One, I think that elite specs are a big feature, and I think the next expansion really needs one. I think weapons, we've done that. We need to add some new stuff. And I think that weapons, although they do obviously give you new options, they don't really change the game in the same way that an elite spec does. Because an elite specialization fundamentally changes your profession. It gives you whole new build options. You can combine it with everything else that's there. And you can do that with weapons, but it's really not the same to giving you like a new mechanical experience of the profession that you like. It's just way more impactful. It just is, right? Like, it's obvious. It's been a big missing thing of the new expansion model. And I think it makes a lot of sense that we're going back to this, especially because we know there's already been a delay, right? The expansion was supposed to come out in August, but it's already been delayed by 2 months. So that would make sense. We're cooking elite specializations. And also, guys, come on, look. We actually have this hexagon, which is, again, very indicative of the trait system in the game. So it looks like we are currently looking at a potential icon, or a little bit of artwork, a bit of splash artwork for a bard-style profession. Which, come on, guys, I think this is so funny, actually, because those who remember this was like an April Fool's gag that ArenaNet did a very long time ago, like introducing the minstrel. But look, it's not an April Fool's joke anymore. Here we go. Very, very exciting stuff. For this one, I think we're going to be going hard on this Guild Wars 2 expansion. And of course, I do want to actually quickly repeat this news for everyone. 15 days, we're probably getting that announcement in 15 days. And in fact, and I do like this, I actually really like this from ArenaNet. And who knows, maybe I'm wrong, but this will kind of confirm its elite specs, by the way. So stay tuned in 24 hours from now for confirmation on this. I think it's very likely that they're actually going to do a tweet every day, teasing an elite spec with some artwork like this, potentially some of the environments or some kind of little lore hints. Because even this, by the way, is basically a lore hint. There's actually someone already did like a contrast version of this image, so you can kind of see the background a little bit better. But we're already basically getting hints on where we're going with the next expansion. What's it going to be? We can see a boat over there. We can see some, there's like, I don't know, like a mini pet over there, like a tiny little char over there. It's very funny. And you've got these characters kind of in the background, this like floating tree over there. So not giving too much away. But you get the idea. I think we're going to be getting a lot of teasers, so guys, oh my god, stay tuned for daily slop YouTube content. Smash that like button, subscribe, enable the bell notifications, guys. Get your daily slop react content in. We love that stuff here. We love it, guys. Get ready to buy the game using my referral link. Get ready to pound that referral link. Oh my goodness, it's my favorite time of the year. It's fantastic, it really is. But anyway, yeah, that's basically the news. We have to wait until tomorrow to get another little snippet, and we can kind of speculate what's it gonna be. I'd imagine this will be for Mesmer, but ArenaNet might surprise us. I think this could also be for Ranger, by the way, kind of like a wandering bard kind of aesthetic. Or you could be like the Pied Piper. You play music and like make your pets do stuff. Like, I don't know. I think that would be a little bit too silly, but it would be really funny though, wouldn't it? But I think that, ArenaNet are known to kind of mix things up and do some pretty unpredictable stuff with like what kind of gets assigned to each profession. So I don't think it's like a done deal. It makes sense for it to be Mesmer, but honestly, it honestly could be anything. Probably not Necro, but it could be like Guardian. You know, you like play a musical instrument or something. No, I don't want to speculate too much, but of course, when we see all the different icons, we'll be able to have a couple of wild guesses on what this stuff is going to be. But look, I'll make a couple of predictions here. I'm going to make a couple of predictions. I think we might see, because look, a minion-focused Necro build, or Necro Elite spec that has some interactions with minions and has like a lot of minion stuff going on, kind of built into the kit, because let's be honest, that's what Necro mains want. I think that if you guys want a broad prediction, I think they're really going to try to give people what they want with these elite specializations. Because again, let's be real here. Guild Wars 2 needs a big win right now. Soto and Janthe was the new expansion model. We've been struggling. We haven't been having the best time. We need a big win, and I think they're really going to be trying to zone in on identifying what players want, what players are looking for, to give them like a really, really big boost. There's this uncertainty in the air with kind of like the future of the game and where it's going. So this has to be big. It has to land. It has to be a big splash. It's why I'm actually really happy they delayed the launch of the expansion actually by 2 months, because I think that it's really important that this one has an incredibly strong start and they give themselves enough time to have that content plan and deliver that throughout the remainder of the expansion cycle as well. So I actually love to see that, to be honest. And to be frank, you know, I'm getting ahead of myself here. We're talking about the expansion before we know anything, and we'll definitely know more over the next couple of days, next couple of weeks. And of course with the announcement, and then there'll be more news after that, you know, all the way through the summer, really. I'm honestly hoping they actually slow down their content cycle release a little bit. I know people are going to say, oh, but we already don't get any content. Look, trust me, it is better to have a delayed release and have it polished, have it good quality, and have a good quality experience, than to have it rushed out and scuffed. Because, look, let's be honest, guys. I feel that's kind of been what's been going on with Guild Wars 2 a little bit for the past 2 years or so. I'd rather them take it slow, give themselves the time to develop this stuff, and make sure it comes out quality and at a good quantity to give people stuff to really chew on. So that's kind of my hope for that. A lot of speculation. Look, I'm really getting into the content creator mindset here, guys. Okay, we've said all of that about a single static image of a musical instrument surrounded by purple and orange. Okay, look, where are we going, guys? We can speculate where we're going there. A bit reminiscent of Path of Fire, of course, actually. So could be something like that. You know, could be kind of like an Alolan thing. Going back to a different part of the world would be really interesting, because that isn't something that's really happened actually in Soto or Janthe worlds, right? It's been like an entirely new destination, but this could be like going to an area of a kind of a different continent, right? As opposed to Tyria, because the two Soto and Janthe worlds were basically Tyria, right? Like in the Horn of Maguma, and Janthe, or what we colloquially refer to as Tyria, like the main continent. Could it be like this one is actually spanning some of the other continents of the world? Pretty interesting to think about, I think, with that stuff. But yeah, it looks like we're on the elite specialization train, guys. Buckle up. I am really glad to see this, because I think another set of weapons just wouldn't really generate the type of hype. And, look, I will say this, guys. This is exactly the kind of stuff that Guild Wars 2 needed right now, because everyone's not feeling super hot about the game, right? Morale is not super high. I think even on the subreddit, they actually changed the little flavor text to Doomer's Paradise. So, bit of a rough one there. However, this might actually give ArenaNet a little bit of morale to work with, like a little bit of goodwill, which they desperately need right now. So we definitely love to see that. So yeah, that's basically it. I am expecting this to be daily updates, by the way, guys, and I guess I'll just say it. I will cover them. I will cover the news. I will read them to you, okay? Because you're all illiterate, and only I have the magic of understanding words. Oh, I will say this. People, there's a bit of a suggestion, actually, about Is it a new class or elite specs? I don't think a new class makes sense. I kind of want to talk about why I think it's elite specs and not a new class. I don't think a new class makes sense. One, elite specs, it's something for everyone, right? Like people play LE, they play Warrior, they play Necro, right? Elite specs is wide, it's diverse. They have a lot of room for scope to create different playstyles that people enjoy. New class, it's kind of, you're pigeonholing yourself too much, and you want your expansion to be something that everyone wants to get involved on, everyone wants to buy, yeah? So I think it makes way more sense to do that. It is more work to do a new elite spec for everything, you know, because it's just very mechanically different, and what you've got to do is very different on all those, and you've got to do new skills for everything, you've got to do new traits, right, all that kind of stuff. Potentially a new weapon. I'm thinking no new weapon, but we'll see. Again, I'm thinking no new weapon because I'm not sure if they have enough dev resource to do both of those things. It's kind of one or the other, in my opinion. It's probably how it's going to go. And bear in mind, we already have the weapon mastery stuff. So like weapons are already detached from elite specs anyway. They don't, you know, if you think about it, they're kind of, they're almost decoupled anyway, so they can easily kind of split those things apart, in my opinion, there as well. But yeah, that's kind of like some additional context on why I think we're going in an elite specialization direction. And of course, just adding a new class would disrupt the 3-3-3 system. They'd have to do 3 elite specs for it. Would it launch with only 1 elite spec? I think there's just too much complication there, to be honest. And also, again, a new spec is just less wide. One thing I was going to talk about and bring up really briefly, actually, was the fact that Revenant is actually one of the, I think it's one of the less popular classes, actually. And I think a big part of that is, one, because it's kind of different to the other ones, and also it was added later, right? And that thing, you tend to have like lower uptake like that. So new class, I don't think so. New elite specs for everything, I think very much the case. So when this gets confirmed down the line, I'm going to give myself a pat on the back for making such an excellent prediction, because, you know, look, okay, I'm always right. What can I say? What can I say, guys? It is what it is. But anyway, that's all for now. Stay tuned for more. Daily content, probably incoming. You know, I have been slacking massively on content creation for a while now, but don't worry, that might not continue. I'm not going to promise otherwise, but we'll do our best. I still actually have a video coming, kind of talking about the state of the game, actually. I'm definitely going to get that out before the announcement. I'm hoping to do it relatively soon, because yeah, I think that's important to talk about. I want to talk about the state of the game. I want to talk about Guild Wars 3, Guild Wars 2, like where we're going with Guild Wars 2 in the macro scale and all that kind of stuff. So yeah. Now we're really doing the YouTuber thing, guys. I'm a professional at this stuff. You can trust me, okay? I've got this locked down. I'm already baiting you guys into the future content. But anyway, I won't waste any more of your time. Thanks for watching. Leave your comments. Do you think this is a new class? Do you think this is elite specs? Are you hyped by elite specs? Okay? Are your copium reserves restored because of seeing this one image? Guys, are we so back right now? I don't know. Either way, thanks for watching, guys. Take it easy, my friends. And I will see you next time. GG's. Like, follow, subscribe, leave comment, follow social media, watch stream on Twitch and on YouTube. Boom! That's it. I'm out!